you aren't going to stay in this perfect biosphere of a growth mindset.
Right.
From I'm 54 years old, I'm not going to stay in this lovely growth mindset till I'm 94 years old.
Right.
I'm going to go in and out of the biosphere.
Right.
Maybe on a daily basis.
Sure. Well,
depends what's going on with the business and the family and the market and the
Did you know that I have 3 really complicated relationships in my life?
With me, myself, and I?
Close. My relationship with money, my relationship with people, and my relationship with self. And they're all connected together because when my relationship with money got out of whack, it totally had an impact on those other relationships. That, my friend, is what we call having financial sobriety.
So who are you?
I'm Matthew Grishman. Who are you?
Jim Gebhardt.
And we're a couple of financial advisors trying to have an untraditional conversation about our favorite topic, money.
Let's go.
What are you grateful for today?
I'm grateful to be here.
Yeah.
I love coming into studio. We've got a full plate of material.
How big of a plate? Like a appetizer plate or a dinner plate?
This
or
is more
like
of a
Lucille's
platter.
ribs platter
It's
plate?
It's a platter.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's really fun having our daughter Emily back in the nest. She's going to graduate school just down the road from the house, and she's moved back in and have already started to have some fun little interludes with her. We went to coffee the other day, and Beth and I don't ever do that let alone on a weekend. And we sat out and back in Pete's Coffee and just talked.
Nice.
What a concept.
Nice.
And our boys both got their report cards back. And as we learned many years ago, they do. We commend them for their effort. We don't commend them for their results.
Very nice. How were the results?
And the results were outstanding.
There you go.
But we commended them for their effort.
Nice.
So
how do you commend them for their effort?
So Jack is a cheesetarian. So he pretty much only eats cheese.
Right, right.
And his favorite pizza joint is Zachary's Pizza. So we said, hey, based on all of your hard efforts, boys, we're going to go to Zachary's for dinner.
Nice.
And it was a splurge because, I mean, who doesn't like spending exorbitant amounts of money for pizza you can make at home? But
well, it's expensive because it's only made out of cheese, it would appear.
That particular pizza, but then we had the gluten-free pizza for Emily, and then we had the stuffed carne pizza, which is pretty much like every animal you can think of that is chopped up and put in a pizza.
It sounds bougie and delicious.
It was very delicious.
Yeah,
yes. And it even came that one came with extra gluten.
Nice.
I don't even know what that is, but I like it.
You do.
Those are just a few of the things I'm grateful for. I got my Fanny to the gym this morning very much earlier than I traditionally do, as you've also shared.
Yeah.
And while it was not the workout I had drawn up, I got through it.
There you go.
And pushed through some resistance and feel good.
There you go. You know what I'm grateful for? It's graduation season, and I got no skin in this game.
Interesting.
Right? I don't think I have for a couple of years, but this is the first time it feels like I'm sitting down to graduation season and I'm not completely aware that it's graduation season.
I was just going to say, did you even was it a conscious thought like it's May and June-ish and somebody should be graduating from something?
Yes. And we got a little help with some announcements in the mail from friends who have skin in the game of the whole graduation business.
Gotcha.
So that kind of woke me up a little bit. And the fact that it's also 186,000 degrees outside for the first time this year also is an indication. Oh, it must be graduation season because it's
hot out.
So we got a good agenda you were talking about, a big platter today, huh?
Well, I mean,
being that it's graduation season.
You teed up the fact that it is graduation season. And for those of you that have been longtime listeners, you know that is a annual tradition that we like to throw out here on the show because a lot of people think of graduation as an arrival.
Ooh, isn't it?
But we have a kind of a slightly different opinion, don't we?
Well, I think everybody who's with us here in studio today is a longtime listener. They know, but maybe we've got some new people out there in the tribe listening.
I think so.
So what, pray tell, is that belief system?
Well, quite often it's an arrival, right? It's a destination.
I'm done.
I'm done.
Yeah.
And
That's how I felt about high school
100%.
and college
Right.
and my first 3 or 4 jobs.
And we see it more as a check-in, as more of a halftime, as an opportunity to go, okay, I've reached this point in the journey, and instead of viewing it as an arrival or a destination, it's more great.
It's a rest stop.
It's a little rest stop along the way.
Okay.
And how'd that go? I mean, it's not always easy to be reflective at 18 or 22, but we love the concept, particularly if you think of graduation season as being a bit of a midpoint in the calendar.
Sure.
It's not exactly a midpoint. Okay, if you're going to hang us to that, go listen to Dave Ramsey. But
where you and I grew up, it was halftime because the end of school was the end of June.
True.
Right? Here in California, the kids get out of school, it
May
feels
1st.
like May. Yeah, right? I mean, come on.
Mother's Day, the whole thing. It
Happy
lines up
Mother's Day.
nicely.
Your kids are now home all summer. I mean, come on. What else would a mother want for Mother's Day?
So it's a nice opportunity to be able to check in. And, if you're not the one that's graduating, maybe you're the parent or the grandparent or the aunt or the uncle, how's the year going? What's working? Maybe what's not working? What do I need to course correct, right? Or you are one of the ones graduating, and I know for the college kids, because Emily's now a year out of college, and I've spoken with her and some of her friends about this concept that, the education system in this country does a beautiful job of telling you what's next.
Oh, yeah.
Because what comes after second grade?
3rd grade.
And then
4th.
And then
5th and 6th and 7th.
Right?
All the way up.
All the way through the factory.
Sure.
And I distinctly remember Emily's sophomore year at San Diego State. She took a picture, which is the tradition in our family, on the first day of school. So she got her roommates together, and they took a picture on the first day of school of sophomore year, and they held up a sign that said, first day of 14th grade.
I remember that. That was good. Yeah.
And the challenge is when you're done with 16th grade.
Right. Then what?
You get dumped out into the ocean of adulting.
Sure.
You're supposed to be good now, right? I mean, you've done this education thing for 16 years, and you're supposed to have it all figured out, and come on.
What's amazing, what's crazy, is you and I grew up in a time where after you did get through 16th grade, right? 16th grade was more common when you and I grew up. Nowadays, it seems like all the most successful billionaires in the world are telling kids, hang on, before you go dump 350 grand into a college education, make sure you've got direction. Because if you've got no idea what you're doing, is college even necessarily that important to your future?
Is the ROI on the investment worth it?
Right, exactly. So we've got a whole generation of kids now who are coming out of the 12th grade and being dumped into adulthood without those 4 additional years of a little bit of molding and growing and safety and
maturation. I love that word. It's fun to say.
Maturation.
Almost
as fun as Methuselah.
I knew you'd slip her in today.
I slip her in every day.
There we go.
I was listening to one of our old episodes, and
you couldn't sleep?
No. How do you think I do sleep? I go listen to our old. I was listening to last week's episode. Our last episode with David Woods Barkley. Bartley. Holy cow! I'm way too caffeinated today.
Good. Yeah, we'll keep it going.
Yeah, and you and I had a good little Methuselah conversation way back when we had David in studio.
Fabulous.
Yeah, I don't remember anything because I probably had Google in front of me when I was answering the questions as you were quizzing me about who she was and
nice.
The mother of Noah, and look at that, it's stuck.
Oh, it did.
Right?
How about it?
Not bad. Something I'm taking away from this graduation season that, especially you mentioned Emily being a year out of college. It seems like you have an opportunity. You've always talked about how we pause and measure progress, right? And the whole idea of looking in arrears, right? This is something you and I, it's part of the belief system. It's part of what's a little unique and different about how you and I tick, is that generally if you open up the social media feed, that at least tends to give me a sense of looking into the future. Like, this is what I'm supposed to be. I'm not that. I feel a little less than.
Mm-hmm.
And it tends to be the way so many people you and I meet compare themselves to where they're supposed to be.
We haven't said this one in a while. Comparison is the thief of all joy.
It is, but it can also be one of the greatest confidence boosters if used properly. And that's
I'm curious to hear this one.
well, so here's the spin, right? You and I have talked about our time with people who are very, very good at what they do, some of the best in the world. And when you step into that arena, right, this is one of the things that this graduation season I've taken a little bit of pause to really reflect on. Because I feel deep in my heart that you and I are absolutely the best at what we do. So I take time to reflect on that this time of year. And as I'm sitting there thinking about how we continue to get better and how we compete, you and I don't compete with other wealth advisors.
Doesn't feel that way.
No, if anything, like we just helped a very good friend of ours start his own wealth advisory practice. They're not going to be working with us directly. They're doing their own thing. And you and I were very supportive of that process and have offered to give this friend of ours the entire playbook.
Yeah.
Here you go.
I had a wonderful opportunity last week at the annual Financial Planning Association meeting in San Francisco, where I asked a question to one of the panelists, and then after the session was over, this young man came up to me and he said, "Can I talk to you about your practice and your journey and how did you?" And I said, "Well,
Awesome.
Are you here for the week? I mean, how much time do you have?"
Right.
In our short conversation, he was grappling with decisions that I was grappling with at 34,
Sure.
and he's 32.
Sure.
And we've been trading some texts, and I wouldn't say it's a mentoring relationship, but it's
You're
like,
helping the kid.
I'm like, dude, I'm an open book on this stuff.
Right.
I will give you the whole playbook,
Right.
if you're interested.
Because
And
he's not a competitor.
I don't even. He's somewhere in Houston. No, that was a different person. I don't even know where he's based. And
It didn't matter if he was
it didn't
down
matter.
the hall.
No, it wouldn't matter
if he was
across
down
the
the hall.
street.
It
No,
doesn't matter.
I had lunch with, technically, you would say they would be competitors in Lafayette, and we were having a very engaging conversation about practice management.
Yeah.
And where they are in their evolution and decisions that they have to make. It was a incredibly collaborative conversation,
Yeah.
and it wasn't foghorn leghorn in the old cartoon sense of I'm supposed to munch your lunch and you're supposed to take my accounts because we're two of the financial advisors in Lafayette. Granted, I don't even know how many dozen there are,
Yeah.
but there was no competition in that regard.
Well, because we've graduated. You've graduated.
Way to pull it
I've
back.
graduated.
Way to pull it
Thank
back
you.
in.
From this, how we used to look at competition, because we've decided to step into a different arena. And when you step into the arena of trying to be the very best at something, all of a sudden your only competition is the former version of yourself in the rearview mirror.
The mirror.
Right? The rearview mirror. The one that is like back there, right? That guy back there, who I was yesterday.
Yeah.
Right? Our only competition in podcast land, our good friend Ace, who's sitting over there listening intently right now, posted something on LinkedIn. You made a comment on another financial planner who has a podcast on one of their episodes. And my initial reaction was like, he's not a competitor. He's a collaborator. He's one of the very best at what he does. We're one of the very best at what we do. Maybe we should talk to Ace about actually meeting that guy and seeing how we could help one another get better at what we do. The only one you and I are competing with are the versions of us that were in studio last time and producing a better show this time than we did last time.
Love it.
That's how we compete. That's something I'm reflecting on in this graduation period.
Lovely.
It's just, that's where comparison, kind of bringing it even more full circle back. Yes, comparison is the thief of all joy if what you're comparing is how you feel on the inside to what you see on the outside of somebody else.
Well said. Which is why social media is so destructive.
Ugh, awful when it comes to comparison and
Yes.
tearing your confidence down.
Yes.
However, if you are comparing yourself today to the version of yourself yesterday, a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, you're generally setting yourself up to win if you are on a growth mindset path. If you are on that path of believing that life is just about this continual improvement of self, becoming a better version of myself so that I can be more helpful to my tribe, so that I can show up and have more impact each and every day, so that I feel a sense of fulfillment, belonging, connection, and ultimately, whole wealth.
That sounds lovely.
Oh,
Now, My only challenge.
You reeling my ass in?
No.
Oh.
My only challenge
Yeah.
is if the listener is not in the growth mindset.
Well, go listen to somebody else then.
Okay.
I'm just, what are you doing here?
Well, they're trying to get better, but they're stuck.
Ah.
And you being Mr. Unstuck is, I just think, come on, let's face it. You and I both have been miserably stuck at times.
Sure.
And sure, I know I'm supposed to have a growth mindset, but I have a closed mindset. And I'm just going to sit in my dirty diaper and leave me alone.
Okay.
Right?
And what?
So if you're listening and you're in that situation,
yeah,
as we have said probably 400,000 times on the show, you don't have to get the anchor all the way up in the boat to get in motion.
There you go.
You just got to get the anchor a half an inch off the bottom of the pond to get in motion.
Wow, it is Greatest Hits Wednesday.
It is. But in the context of the lovely diatribe that you just went on, it's fabulous.
Yeah.
But I know way too many people that are stuck.
Yeah.
They're emotionally stuck. They're
Yeah.
financially stuck.
Sure.
Their health isn't where they want it to be.
Yes.
And I think if you can just take any little action, right? I remember a great story from Zig Ziglar, the grandfather of motivational speaking and personal growth,
Right.
who, when he was extremely overweight, the goal for him that day was to put on his sneakers and walk to the mailbox.
Right. Mine has always been put on my shoes and walk outside. Just get outside. The mailbox was like a hell of a goal.
Yeah. And whatever that is for you today, and I don't mean you, Mathner, I mean you, our community, our tribe, is whether it's, the 10-10-10, I mean, it is Greatest Hits today.
Sure.
If it's the 10-10-10 principle and you really want to swipe. You want to swipe and buy that thing.
Well, it feels good.
And get it there so fast.
It feels so good.
Yeah. Don't.
Pause.
If that's one of your isms that you go to feel better, or, as I've said on the show a billion times, I have to get out of the kitchen by about 7:30, 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Because one of my isms is I've got like 78 sweet teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And I will.
Are those in rows like a great white shark, or are they all just
they
linear?
just grow. They fall out and they grow back in.
There you go.
It's unbelievable.
Attaboy.
I will find 7-year-old Easter candy in the back of the cabinet.
I think Beth told me the record was 12 years.
Yeah, I will find it.
Okay.
Right? It might be in one of my kids' backpacks in the garage, and I will scour the countryside to find it.
Like
so I just
pig
know
finding truffles, baby.
Exactly. I just got to get out of the kitchen by about 8 o'clock.
Sure.
Right? So just dive into what is that? What is one simple little thing you can do today?
Let's pick on that right there.
Yeah.
If you were to slip, because I know one of the things that, if I'm being reflective in graduation season, one of the things that used to kick my ass was relapse, especially when it came to spending.
Yeah.
Ugh, the relapse.
Sure.
How would you feel if tonight you went home and at 9 o'clock at night you found yourself going through the cabinets looking for 12-year-old Easter candy?
Well, Dave, I can tell you how that felt on Saturday night because
now we're getting somewhere.
Emily's boyfriend was in town, and it happened to be his birthday on Sunday, but he was going home on Saturday.
Okay.
So Emily made him a birthday cake on Saturday, which happens to be one of my 7 deadly sins, and I had too many servings.
How'd that feel?
It was a little bit of the Wes Gebhardt approach. My dad always would say, I'm just going to have a half a piece. And like 5 half pieces later. Right. So I did that. I cut little silly small slices.
You go cut a slice. Yeah.
And then it was just.
So you had half a piece, then you had half of the half a piece, then you had half of the quarter piece.
Absolutely.
And then screw it. Just
miserable night's sleep.
Okay.
Didn't wake up great. Don't remember exactly what I did work out. Oh, no, that was Sunday. I wasn't working out. Oh, no.
So you had a day to stew in it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
This is how we help our tribe. If we look back to Jamie Gebhardt.
That's going back a ways.
And Jim Gebhardt and Gebby and all the cool names that people have called you over the years. If I look back at you 5 years ago, what kind of progress has been made as far as how many times a birthday cake explosion like that would happen in a year, in a month, in a week? Is it less?
It's 198,000 times.
Okay. So it's a little less.
It's less.
So that time that happened on Saturday.
Oh, it happens much less.
It does.
Oh, yeah.
So is that progress? Is that good?
Of course.
Holy cow.
Mindfulness, intentionality, all those things, right? Just kidding. And also, what I think, we don't talk a lot about this on the show.
Yeah.
But it's the awareness principle.
Yes.
It's the awareness of what ism am I using to fill the hole in my soul in that moment.
Well,
right?
but that's the key is we're filling a hole in our soul right now. We have this feeling. We don't like it.
We don't like it.
So we're going to fill it with something.
Something.
Candy, cake, spending, swiping, drinking, snorting,
gambling,
whatever.
Right.
We're going to fill it with something. What is one of our favorite tools?
10
is one. I'm thinking specifically about a say no more list.
Sure.
We can talk about 10, but I want to get there in a second.
Sure.
The key to what you did on Saturday night is that you had a little slip, but it happens less frequently than it used to. Because how many times have we talked about life is not about perfection? As much as Instagram and social media wants us to think by looking at how other people live their life on the outside and comparing that to how shitty I feel on the inside, boy, what a loser am I. Look at how perfect their life is. But we all know that's a crock, right? We all know that's not true.
We know
it. We don't necessarily believe it.
I think more people are recognizing that it's a crock.
Especially if they listen to our show.
Sure.
So the idea of you making progress, life is about making progress. It's not about perfection. Perfection is an ideal. And if you're spending your entire life trying to be perfect, which you and I have had a little experience with, people in our lives have had a little experience with, and we watch the miserable that happens, right? It's like our own production of Les Mis that happens out of trying to be perfect. So the idea of allowing ourselves to be beautifully imperfect human beings who make mistakes and giving ourselves permission to make those mistakes, you made a mistake, but you're making progress because it's happening less. When you put something like eating cake on your say no more list.
I don't want to.
I know you don't want to. I don't want to either. I love cake too.
I've done that with fast food.
Okay. So you haven't put cake on the say no more list yet?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Are you thinking about it?
No.
Okay.
Less.
Okay. Having
less.
Well, so that's what the say no more list does to me.
Gotcha.
There are very few things I have completely eliminated from my life that go on the say no more list. The say no more list is what I am intentionally focused on not doing in my life, but giving myself the grace that I'm human. And come graduation season every June, which tends to be reflective, I look back on some of the things that I've said no to.
Yeah.
Right? And in the beginning, it was easy. When we wanted to get healthy, it was very obvious things. It was saying no more to booze. It was saying no more to fast food. And then it started, saying no more to cigarettes and nicotine and like all of these chemicals and things, these dopamine-inducing things that I've been putting in my body all these years that I've slowly been saying no to and adding to the say no more list.
And if you were to do some progress checking on that, how would you rate yourself?
I give myself an A+, 4.0. This is some of the stuff I feel most proud about.
Sure. You should.
And I do.
It's been remarkable.
I do. And I'm not somebody who has given myself permission for very long in my life to feel good about the guy looking back at me at the mirror. Go back to episode 1 if you want to hear a little bit more about that.
Right.
We might circle back there today a little. Then the say no more list started to evolve. And it became a little bit more maybe abstract.
Abstract.
It became conceptual.
Things
like no more complaining.
Right.
Now, you and I spent a lot of time together. Do I still complain a little bit?
Of course.
Of course. Do I do it less than I did maybe a year ago?
That's progress.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
For me, it's procrastinating.
Oh, did that go on the say no more list?
Well, it did. And there's occasions when I procrastinate.
Did it take a while to get it on the say no more list? Did you procrastinate a little bit to put it on the list?
Probably, yeah. But when I can feel that I'm procrastinating on something, it goes on my to-do list for the next day.
Okay.
And there's actually a good little app that I found for this that's a Dan Sullivan tool that is very helpful. And I had this bill from the local hospital from a heart catheterization procedure that I had.
I remember.
Over a year and a half ago. And I get this bill for $13,000.
Ouch.
And it sat first on the kitchen counter for a while. And then
It came into the office for a little while, I think.
Hang on. It acclimated on my dresser for a little while.
Okay.
And then we don't really have a home office set up right now.
Right.
So the station above the washer and dryer is kind of a place where the bills and things go to acclimate some more.
Nice.
At this point, I think
They ferment.
I think it's aging at this point.
Sure.
And then I was like, okay, I'm going to do something about this. And then I brought it into to my office.
That's when I saw it and almost passed out.
Yeah. So at this point, we got to be getting close to a collections agency kind
Sure.
of call because I am not taking action on this at the thought of. So one day I said, enough already. Call the people. And I get this very helpful person on the phone. And I explain the situation. And here's the bill number and account number and all this. And I said, I want to make sure my insurance information is correct on file. And she's like, oh, yeah. Something's definitely not right here. Your total portion of this should be about $684.
Oh, it's a little less than 13 grand.
I said, could you repeat that, please?
Exactly.
Just the way you said it.
Like that, yes.
Yeah, your portion of the bill is $684.
Did you hit the record button before she said it the second time?
And your name again is, right, as I'm taking my notes?
Uh-huh.
Sure enough, last week, we got a bill from that hospital that was not $13,000, and it was not $684.
Oh,
It was $3,212.
okay. Progress.
So now I'm not going to have any procrastination on this one. I'm calling them. Now, I'm not in the office today. I'm up here, but I will be calling them promptly with, I have other data to support why it should be something different.
Sure.
Anyway, my point on the story is it's all about progress.
Yes.
It's all about however you can measure it, as infinitesimal as it might be.
Yes.
The progress is what provides the motivation to push through the resistance.
Yes.
That is the name of the game.
I wasn't always a growth mindset person. I was stuck for a very, very long time. If you're still with us and you've been listening to a few episodes or you've gone back, you'll learn that you and I haven't always been growth-minded people. And even as growth-minded people we have times of setbacks.
Oh, yeah.
So today and this reflection
I had one last week.
on Saturday with cake?
No.
Oh,
After listening to Michael Kitsis and his presentation, it threw me into a tailspin for like 3 or 4 days.
was it almost like a flush it, sell the business kind of thing?
Close.
Yeah.
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 Because it was racking my growth mindset.
Yeah.
And it was just like
He challenged the crap out of it, right?
big time.
Yeah.
And my point is that you aren't going to stay in this perfect biosphere of a growth mindset.
Right.
From I'm 54 years old. I'm not going to stay in this lovely growth mindset till I'm 94 years old.
Right.
I'm going to go in and out of the biosphere,
Right.
maybe on a daily basis.
Sure. Well,
Depends what's going on with the business and the family and the market and the
I think I remember not that long ago, how many months were we not in studio recording live?
Too many.
Yeah, because of some setback. Some of it is in the head and just how we feel. Other times it's stuff that seems to be completely out of control, like health challenges, right? We've been dealing with some health challenges in my family, both Amy and I simultaneously having some of the greatest health challenges of our life. And I'll tell you, nothing will challenge a partnership more than when you're going through one of the greatest health challenges of your life, wanting and needing your partner to be there, and she's not available because she's going through the same thing.
I think we could have a whole series on that.
We might be heading that way at some point. Because, again, you and I with our growth mindset and reflecting upon this graduation season, I got to do a little speaking last night in front of a group of like-hearted folks. And one of the things I talked about was how the growth mindset has helped me develop this belief that everything in life happens for us. It doesn't happen to us. So looking at the last 2 years of health crisis and pause in the podcast studio and all the spillover that has happened as a result of the health crises, the question becomes, well, how has that happened for us? And I have to keep asking
Very
myself
hard
that.
to see in the middle of the storm. Actually, impossible to see in the middle of the storm.
Well, when I'm sitting in a recliner in my house for 4 months staring at a white wall.
Did you paint the wall?
With my eyes over and over and over, constantly in thought of, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? And I had to go through that 4-month period of why is this happening to me for me to get through and go, oh, wait a minute. This is happening for me. And her not being able to be available to me is happening for me. And what I'm learning from all of that is how much more resilient of a human being I've become as a result of having to step up and support myself when others have not been able to. And what's amazing about that experience is any resentment I was holding towards those that I was looking for that support is gone because of what I've gotten from this. Because the realization that I don't need people in my life. I have everything I need. I want people in my life. I want to invite people to be part of. And if they can, awesome. And if they can't, that's okay too. I've got everything I need in this wonderful relationship with myself. A huge upgrade to one of those 3 very critical relationships we've been talking about on this little financial sobriety journey of ours.
So you've identified that you are a self-sustaining, independent source of energy.
Absolutely, which I don't know. I mean, you and I have been gabbing into these mics for like 43 years now, and I'm not sure, even with the work we've done in relationship with self, which is really the crux of healing in this journey of financial sobriety, is starting there, right? If there's toxicity in life as a result of relationships we have with others or how we interact in our relationship with money and finance, where most of that gets healed, bottom line is that relationship with self, right? Something's going on where there's a hole in your soul and it's not being fed, and we're projecting that into those other relationships, right? We've always said, if one of those 3 fairly complex relationships gets a little out of whack, it's going to have a trickle over. It's going to affect the other relationship. It's going to project into them. So even with all of the work that we've done where we started back in 2005, I'm not sure I fully believed until my heart health issue and being forced to sit there and support myself and make the choice that I'm going to be okay. I'm going to get out of this and get back to being a contributing member of society. I want to live. Once I made my mind up that that was the case, this recognition started to set in. Like, whoa, wait a minute. I don't need my mommy and daddy anymore, right? Figuratively speaking, right? I don't need to be taken care of. And that's huge that this has happened for me that way.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, that's graduation.
If you like what you heard, leave us a review and be sure to subscribe. And check out our website, yourfinancialsobriety.com. Thanks again for listening today. Here to help you find more clarity, confidence, and capability along your journey into financial sobriety. I'm Matthew Grishman.
And I'm Jim Gebhardt.
Be intentional with your money.
Jim Gebhardt is a registered representative of and securities offered through Brokers International Financial Services, LLC, member SIPC. Jim Gebhardt and Matthew Grishman are investment advisor representatives of Gebhardt Group Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. Brokers International Financial Services, LLC, and Gebhardt Group Incorporated are not affiliated. The opinions in this podcast are for informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or investment recommendations. To determine which investments or financial advice may be appropriate for you, consult a financial advisor prior to investing. Any reference to market performance is based on historical information, and there is no expressed or implied guarantee of future performance. Opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect those of Brokers International Financial Services, LLC. The topics discussed and opinions given are not intended to address the specific needs of any listener. Gebhardt Group Incorporated does not offer legal or tax advice. Listeners are encouraged to discuss their financial financial needs with the appropriate professional regarding your individual circumstance.